Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I am out shooting one of the first flowers that are blooming in winter time, and they also have a very wintry name. They are called snowdrops, and if you are in a poetic mood you could say they are announcing spring, but as it's the beginning of February, so it's a bit difficult to say it's spring already. And while I'm trying to photograph these pretty little flowers, I'm also gonna talk you about the 4 beginner mistakes I made when I started with photography, so that you don't have to make these mistakes and can go on with your photography, so we can learn from one another. Okay, so I was afraid I was a few days or a week early because most of the flowers here are not really blooming yet, or they are not opened up because there is not a lot of sun today. But here I found a patch of snowdrops that are blooming. The only challenge will be the wind today because these are very light flowers, so they're very shaky in the wind. So that's going to be a challenge today. So I picked out the flower here, and I am using 2 extension tubes over here to create a macro-ish shot like this, and I set my aperture at 4.5, which is the lowest possible on this lens now, to create a blurry background and a moody atmosphere. The ISO is already at 1000, which is already pretty high, so I don't want to go any further up, and then I have a shutter speed of 1/200, so I have to take care of the moment I shoot the image, because the wind is moving the flower, as you can see on the screen, so I'll have to wait for a windless moment. The first mistake I made as a beginning photographer was to shoot in JPEG and not in RAW, because I found RAW files too big for the memory card. And they are a lot bigger than JPEG files, RAW files, but there is an obvious reason for that. RAW images contain a lot more information of the image, and that makes it way easier to edit your image, to adjust the mood and tone of your image, to recover your highlights, your shadows, to adjust the white balance. It's just way easier to edit your image and to make it the image you want. So first big tip, don't shoot JPEG. Another mistake I made was not caring about my ISO. I just set my aperture and my shutter speed, and then I let my ISO go wherever it wanted to go at that moment. The reason because I didn't care about the ISO was because I didn't use a tripod. I just wanted to handheld every shot I took. But then I ended up, of course, with very noisy and very grainy images, which were totally rubbish to edit or to make something good of. But today I am starting at a base ISO of, for my camera now, 160, and I only go up to a maximum shutters, a maximum ISO of 1600 if it's necessary, and otherwise I'm just using a tripod. So second great tip, take care of your ISO and use a tripod. Okay, so photographing these flowers is always a bit of a workout. It's because you have to get down on your knees or lay down on your belly, which I won't do now. But yeah, you just have to go down to the level of the flowers and then yeah, just look at them and look for flowers that pop out or that draw your attention, and then just find a good composition with it. So yeah, it's hard work photography. The third mistake I made as a beginner was to think that sunny, bright weather was the best weather to shoot in. And I think today is a good day to just prove my point, because the sky has been gray and dull all day, which was good for me today, because then I didn't have to deal with all the harsh shadows and the hard sunlight. Also, if you just want to do woodland photography, sun isn't your best friend at all. It's just very difficult to make images then. Of course, sun is good. It's good to have sun in your images, especially at sunrise or sunset, when the sun casts that nice golden light. But bright blue skies won't be to your advantage at all. So forget the idea of a bright sunny weather and just go out when it rains, when it snows, when it's foggy, or just whatever weather without sun. And the last mistake I made as a beginner was to think that every nice view equals a nice image. And the fact that a view is nice is because you can see the depth of the view of what you have in front of you, but your camera cannot. You have to recreate that depth in your image by adding a foreground, midground, background, by looking for leading lines in your image, patterns in your image, just something that can create depth in your image. And if you don't do that, you just end up with a boring, flat image. So no, a nice view is not necessarily a nice image. Okay, so I hope these 4 tips can help you with your photography and you don't make these mistakes I did. I would say you're very welcome. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.